Internet, Eric here. Well, I'm finally finished with the Wishmaster series, and I'm finally going to discuss it for any of you guys that are actually interested. Today, I'm going to discuss part 4, Wishmaster. Can't really see with the glare. Kinda. There you go. Wishmaster, the prophecy fulfilled. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. This one came out a year after Wishmaster 3. Beyond the Gates of Hell. This came out in 2002. Um, Basic plot is the same as the other three. The Djinn needs to grant whoever woke him up 3 wishes to be able to release his race of Djinn on the world so they can control it. Blah blah blah. It's been the same fucking thing for the last 3 movies, but this one's a little different because the third wish is finally granted. Hence, prophecy fulfilled. Um, let's get started. Acting wise, the guy who plays the Djinn in Djinn form is the same actor who played the Djinn in part 3. Still like the look. Still like a little bit of charisma he has, through the makeup. So he's good. That's where it ends. Um, the main girl here, the final girl, what have you, the one who has to grant, or the one who makes the wishes and gets them granted, what have you. Um, she's pretty. That's about it. But the problem is she doesn't have a lot of good people to work with. So basically, the only thing like her story is her and her boyfriend or husband. I don't remember if they're married or not. They just bought their dream house, and then he gets in an automobile accident. I think it's riding a motorcycle. So he's been paralyzed, and all he does now is because she won't have sex with him is get drunk and stare at porno sites all day. And they've been going through this lawsuit. I think it has something to do with like faulty brakes or something like that on his motorcycle or car. I don't fucking remember. Um, so that's a lot of stressful time for them. And the boyfriend or whatever thinks that the lawyer is making moves on the girl. So she doesn't have a lot of work with because the actor who plays the boyfriend, all he does is mope around and just look pissed and dark and dreary, and he's unlikable. He's a whiny crybaby. Now, granted, he's supposed to be depressed and this and that, but it's just so over the top and mopey, and he just so this is what else is new. So instant don't like him at all. Um, but she does what she can with dealing with that guy. She does what she can when dealing with the lawyer, dealing with the lawyer when he's trying to make moves on her while possessed by the Djinn. But she really can't do anything in this movie other than get naked. Um, she looks good naked. She's got 2 scenes of nudity and then one sex scene that we're definitely going to talk about where you see her in her bra and thong. And the director obviously knew where to shoot because he knew he had just like Christopher Nolan when what's her face was Catwoman. She's on the Bat Cycle. Christopher Nolan had that shot of Anne Hathaway's ass in that tight leather suit. You know for a fact he did it like that on purpose. He focused on her butt on purpose. This director was a perv. But that's all she has in this movie is just to get naked. And it's weird too because there's a scene where she's in the shower and of course the boyfriend or whatever is watching her, and he's not jerking off or anything. He's just desiring her because they haven't had sex in 3, 4, 7 months, 3 years. I don't know how fucking long it's been. But she gets out and then she is shocked and she hides herself with a towel. So the actress does what she can in this film, but her character is awful. Um, the lawyer, he doesn't really do much until he's killed. I don't remember. I don't even remember how. By the Djinn and then taken over. And then all. This is where it really gets dumb. And then he is trying to make the moves on her, and she's starting to fall for him because she's falling out of love with the boyfriend, and then we'll get to it. So all the characters here suck. I don't like any of them other than maybe the guy in the Djinn suit. Now eventually, we also have the Archangel come back. It's a different one this time. It's not the same one that possessed the boyfriend that I know of. Fuck if I know. Possessed the boyfriend in part 3. But the problem with that is, I don't like this guy right away because he decapitates somebody. He walks into a relic store, I think. It's a relic store where the um, the main girl works with her friend, and he's looking for, I guess, like, clues to where she could be, and he decapitates the receptionist because. So I already don't like this fucker. He's supposed to be the hero. No, can't like him now. And then when he finally fights the Djinn, they do have a sword fight in broad daylight in a park, and the Djinn fucking kills him single handedly, super easy. So that was dumb. The wishes. I don't remember any of them. They were very immemorable, as you can tell. Um, I remember one, and that's because it was no. There's two. There's two. I remember well, one death. I don't remember why he kills the best friend of the lead actress. She's just like pushed up against the wall, and he does something to her. I don't fucking remember. There's two deaths I'll talk about. One is super fucking retarded. The Djinn is in a bar, and every time I say the Djinn, like the Djinn is in somewhere, it's gonna be him in human form. Okay, he's in a bar and he's talking to the bartender. He's at a strip joint. Never mind. And hot chick is stripping. She looks good, and he's talking to the bartender. The bartender's talking about how he desires her, and he says, "Man, I would wish to be a pimple on her ass." And he says, "Wish granted," and then suddenly the guy disappears. Fucking stupid. And then there was a wish that I think the girl makes, like she wishes the lawsuit would be over. So the Djinn in human form, of course, calls the opposing lawyer and makes him hurt himself until he sends a fax saying that they've come to an agreement and they get like $2 million or some shit. But the problem is he's cutting off his nose despite his face, so he literally cuts off his nose, and it looks okay until we get a close up of the actor and his nose is still there. It's just covered in red makeup. That looks retarded. And then he cuts off his fingers in a scene, and then he blows his brains out. Of course, you get the whole blood on the fax paper routine, which looks good, but it's just, this is so comical, taken so seriously. Like, you even have people yelling and screaming on the outside of the office trying to get in, banging on the windows, and it just seems so forced and like horrible. So, yeah. And then finally, we get the third wish granted. But there's something about how she has to willingly, let's see, what is it? She falls in love and she wants to, something about love, man. It was stupid. She wants to fall. She falls in love with the lawyer or something, and she can't fall in love with the lawyer. Or she says something like, "I want to see how you really are." Some stupid shit. Where the third wish is granted, and you have the other Djinns trying to come out into the real world, but they can't because the third wish has been made, but he won't grant it because something to do with the love, and she wants to fall in love with the lawyer guy, but see him for how he really is. That means she'll have to fall in love with the Djinn in Djinn form, and that's just a dumb idea. And then the Djinn is actually falling in love with her. The fuck, this whole thing was really stupid. And then we get to the sex scene I was telling you about. She's already had a sex scene with her boyfriend in the very beginning of the movie. That's, and that one made sense because, they just bought a house. She gets naked. They have sex in a really unerotic type of sex scene, but whatever. And then this is the one where she, the close-ups on the butt and the underwear and this and that. And she's having sex with the lawyer on the couch. And I don't think she takes off her underwear, so she must just pull it to the side type of deal that you see in many pornos. And she's riding him, she's just riding him on the couch, and then suddenly you have Djinn hands. Like, let's just say, for the sake of this video, this ugly mug here is the back of the hot chick. So she's riding him, and then suddenly you see, from off screen, Djinn hands come and like start caressing her back, and that's just weird and fucked up and unerotic. It's bad enough she's already fucking the Djinn. And then it goes nowhere because she finds out who he really is. And then like the last 20 minutes is her trying to get out of the house. As the Djinns are actually, this part's really cool. The Djinns are punching through the walls and grabbing her and this and that. And then she kills the Djinn. I don't even remember fucking how, because I've already checked out so fast with this movie. And then the ending, she defeats the Djinn, and then you know her boyfriend has been killed. I don't remember how. I mean, he is given his legs are now working, and that was I guess that was a cool scene watching him like his legs like get back into normal working order, I guess you would say, and then him trying to get used to walking and the pain and this and that. But he gets killed somehow. I think he sacrifices himself to save her. Like I said, I've checked out. And then she defeats the Djinn. So the prophecy was fulfilled, but nothing happens, which is, a very misleading fucking title. I wish that, the prophecy was fulfilled and we get to see the Djinns take over the fucking world. But alas, it doesn't. She defeats the Djinn. She walks out. She looks up at the house. She remembers fond memories of her and her boyfriend, then walks away or drives away or something. Horrible. So, as much as I enjoyed Wishmaster 3, Beyond the Gates of Hell, I do not recommend Wishmaster, The Prophecy Fulfilled, really, at all. Lead girl, nice to look at, gets naked a lot, but doesn't have a lot to work with other than that. Hate her fiance, boyfriend, husband, whatever, because he's just too fucking mopey. Don't give a shit about the Archangel, because he already decapitates somebody when we first are trying to get to know him, and he's defeated like that by the Djinn in one sword fight scene. The guy under the makeup as the Djinn does what he can. He still looks cool. Some nice nudity. Don't remember the kills because they were that dumb. The whole wish I was a pimple on her ass thing was stupid. Guy cutting off his nose looked bad because of that close-up on his nose still there. Yeah, shitty ending. Hard pass. So that's it. I would say, watch part 1 and part 3. Avoid parts 2. Well, you don't have to avoid part 2, but I don't recommend part 2. And avoid part 4. So it's kind of like what they say about the original Star Trek movies. The even ones are good, the odd ones are bad. Reverse it. Odd ones are good, even ones are bad. Don't really like Wishmaster Prophecy Fulfilled because, like I said, they don't fucking take over the world in a movie called The Prophecy Fulfilled. Highly misleading. That just pissed me off. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Click the bell. All that stuff. Tell me if you like Wishmaster 4. Tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what Remind me of what some of the fucking kills were because, like I said, I got bored with this so quick. Yeah. Fuck. Disappointing. Highly disappointing. I'm glad I got the I do have the Blu-ray. I'm just showing off the DVDs in this series because I did upgrade and get the Blu-ray from Vestron Video, and I got it like real cheap on Amazon. They were having a sale. I don't feel ripped off because I liked parts 1 and 3. So that's it. Click the bell, all that jazz. I already said that. Cheers. Fuck, this was